Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sins, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration of juice. It is July the 25th, 2022, and today the topic is why me? Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope that you all had a great weekend. Mine was just fine. Um, yeah, y'all can't complain, can't complain. Didn't do too much this weekend. I mean, well, Saturday, I guess was a do nothing day. I just was, hanging with the fam and things like that. And then yesterday, I'm continuing my summer Sunday challenge, going to the church. Yep, going to the house of the Lord in person. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Oh man, it just so many beautiful moments yesterday. Those that follow me on social media, they already know. But if not, one of the cute things that happened, my son and I was getting ready for church, and at one point I think it kind of confirmed to me that, you know what, I don't think we've taught him negative words per se, because like, I mean, other than the word no, like he knows the word no, but outside of that, it's like I don't think he knows any negative words. And what makes me think that is because when he got dressed, he was like, "Mommy, do I look nice or do I look handsome?" And I was like, you know, the way he said it and just the glow on his face and all those different things, it just exudes confidence. He says it all the time too. I guess because I tell him that he's handsome, all the time he's like, I'm handsome and X, Y, and Z. So I don't think he knows the opposite of handsome. So I guess he only hears me say those words. And so I don't know, it's just one of those interesting things about parenting and like, I guess what is instilled in your child and whatnot. So it was just a interesting moment. So that was like one of the first things that happened yesterday. But then on my way to church, or I guess we was getting ready to leave, and there was this song. I didn't intend to talk about it. I think the gentleman's name is Brian Courtney Wilson. Again, if y'all are following me on social media, then you probably saw me share it. At least on my personal page on Facebook. So I guess if you know me personally, then you saw me share that song. I don't know, man. For whatever reason, it just brought me to tears yesterday, y'all. Like, I mean, just in praise and gratitude, and just, it wasn't any sadness per se. It just was more so like the worship, the gratitude, the thankfulness of the song, the words of the song that's saying that, there's still more worth fighting for. And just the combination of all those things just really touched my heart yesterday. I listened to it twice and both times it just kind of had me, just in tears. So and I know I my son was seeing me cry. He's like, "Mommy, you're crying," and blah blah blah. And I was trying to explain to him that, well, these are happy tears, son. These are happy tears, and everything like that. Because I tell y'all, man, I'm just like a water bucket these days. Especially when it comes to worship and everything like that. So we went on into Mountain West, and there was a guest pastor and whatnot. So shout out to the pastor at Mountain West. I believe his name is Mo. And because him and his family just had a new baby. And so there's some guest speakers that have been coming, I guess, over the past few weeks. And so the gentleman yesterday, spoke really well. I took a lot of good notes down and got a lot of, felt a lot of encouragement and whatnot. So yeah, it was a good service. It was a good service. And, I love that my son is enjoying it. Like I love that he's enjoying going to church. He speaks it, he says that. And yeah, so it's an exciting time. I know they invited us to a event tomorrow for the kids at Catch Air. So if the Lord's will, I will probably try to take my son, because I want him to continue to cultivate those relationships with the people that he's met, as well as maybe I'll meet some new moms and some more people and things like that. And so yeah, if the Lord's will, I will try to go to the event tomorrow. But we'll see what the Lord do. Anyway, so let's get into this chit chat, right? Let's get into this chit chat about why me. So basically, All I know is, okay, so I woke up around 2 something, and I was going to get ready to kind of like, because my body is so used to waking up in the morning where I'm just like, I thought it was closer to the time until I actually looked at the clock, and then I was like, oh, it's just 2, so I'm gonna turn the light back off and try to get another hour or so of sleep. And so I must have, went back to sleep. I was listening to Abide, which is like this channel on YouTube, um, that has prayers and meditations and things like that, right? And so I was listening to that as I slept, which I need to get in the habit of that because I already have the habit of watching something or listening to something while I go to sleep. I think I need to be more intentional about what I'm listening to when I go to sleep. It's yeah. And I've done that a few nights. But I don't know, it's just sometimes it depends because if I'm still wide awake, it's like I'm listening to what they're saying and then I'm not going to sleep. So it's a thing. But anyway, I was listening to that and I don't fully remember the whole dream. I just kind of remember pieces of like the dream that I had. I remember certain people and things like that. But the main thing I remember is this. Basically, all I know is my mom was there and I was telling her something. I can't remember what I was telling her. I was telling her something. And see, okay, so y'all know I'm almost 36 now, right? And I'll still sit on my mama's lap like I'm that type, right? And so all I remember is I was getting ready to just kind of like lay on her and take a picture or something like that. And I was like, and I was telling her I was getting ready to lay on her. Oh, I feel like I'm floating or something. But then I laid down and I had the phone and I all I know is I did selfie mode and in the camera I was float. It was like I was laying down and I was floating. And then all I remember is dropping the phone. Um and that's the main thing I remember about the dream. But I also remember a couple of phrases. I remember why me, and I remember what was it? I can't remember the other one, but I know I remember saying why me in the dream at some point. Um so I didn't know what that was about, but all I know is when I woke up this morning, basically the Abide thing was still speaking, and one of the things that I heard, I guess the guide or the person that was speaking or whatnot, narrator, the person was saying they were talking about Moses and then they said the same things that I was saying in a dream. They said the why me quote, and then they also said something else, which I can't remember, which maybe it was just for me. But anyway, so yeah, and so even before I did the prayer meditation this morning, I was like, we're gonna tackle why me. That's a good topic. Let's go with that. I listened to the prayer meditation and that was good. I don't really remember it right now because I got engulfed in this whole why me search. So basically, I got into looking up verses centered around why me, and it was a little challenging. Not because the verses aren't there, it just was, I think, by me trying to look up why me. I wasn't really finding much. Not so I wanted to find the word why, I wanted to find the word me, but I didn't write any of that down. Because there was a verse that had came into my heart and mind, and it was talking about like the potter and the clay, right? And but I was trying to remember what the verse was. I was like, man, I gotta get better at remembering where they are, because it's like I'll remember the verse, but I might not remember where they are. And so I kept trying to find it. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? And I was thinking it was the account with Job, because I was like, because I know God and Job had a whole dialogue, and God was like, saying things along the lines of like, where were you when, I created the earth and all this type of stuff. And so I thought it was in that, but it wasn't. And I just kept looking and looking and trying to figure out like where it was. Turns out it was in, mainly in like Ephesians. No, wait, I don't want to say it wrong. Was it in Ephesians? Well, the first one that I'm going to share with you guys is it's in Romans, but like I think it was like Ephesians 45 or Isaiah 45 or something like that. It was a lot of verses that actually was referring to the potter and the clay, which is interesting. But these verses that was on my heart and mind was this right here. So let me go ahead and start sharing verses. Okay, so Romans 9:20 through 21. It says, but why are you, O man, excuse me, but who are you, O man, to answer back to God? Will what is molded say to its molder, why have you made me like this? Has the potter no right over the clay to make out of the same lump one vessel for honorable use and another for dishonorable use? Y'all, there's a lot that I received this morning. I really think, and I know I say this all the time, and I guess I'm, promoting this with the journal and everything else, that, man, we need to get into the Bible for ourselves. We need to be reading it. We need to be studying it, because there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Because I was going deeper and I kept looking up, these verses centered around potter and clay and all these different things. And eventually I started reading Ephesians. Am I saying it right? Or is it Isaiah? I think it was Isaiah 1 I had started reading. But that was so, I felt like I was reading about America while I was reading that. And it almost took me out. I was like, oh my God, oh Lord, I was like, I got to get back on track with this conversation about why me. But so I started to focus more so on the why me verses. But I'm just saying there's just so much there, and it's just very interesting how you hear people literally say there's no book telling us how to live life and blah blah blah. Yeah, there is. It is. It's called the Bible. It says a lot about life and what we should do and all that type of stuff. And so, again, being engulfed in this idea of why me, and then if I think about Moses and all these different scenarios, of people that maybe they felt unqualified, right? Maybe they felt like, Lord, why are you choosing me to do this thing? And I mean, I guess overall, like with God leading me to this whole thing about potter and clay and all that type of stuff, I think maybe first what I'm receiving here is that we should, well, instead of asking why me, I think it should be like, we should wonder why not us, right? But then first, I think we should understand that, hey, we were all created for a reason and a purpose and everything like that. We're all unique. We all have gifts. We all have things that God has put in us for certain things, right? And so when we say why me, it's kind of like, well, again, he can just come back and be like, why not you? This is what I made you for. And so I think, getting that into our hearts and minds that, hey, you know what? God made me. So I'm here to do what he wants me to do. That we are not our own and all those different things that the Bible tells us. And I know it might be pulp. It might not be something that we like, because I guess you feel like you don't have any control or something like that. But I mean, I guess, hey, if you are asking yourself why if you don't feel qualified and all these different things, then understand, first understand that, like this here says, that, we are, that basically God could create us to be whatever he wants. If he's the potter and we're the clay, then he can make us into what he wants. So, I mean, I don't know how to break that down anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, all I can do is let's keep going with these verses. Let's keep going with these verses, right? So Psalm 100 and verse 3, it says, know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Y'all know, was it last week or the week before last when we had the individual that felt the need to come on here and I guess, sprout different verses and, the little persecution that has come my way, and then I know at some point I think at the end of the conversation, I think I had already got off of live by the time the person said this, but they had said something along the lines of, "Oh, I don't believe in religion. I think that people that do are sheep or sheeple and all this type of stuff." Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, well, the Bible said we're sheep too, so that's not a derogatory thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it more so depends on who your shepherd is, whether it's a derogatory thing or not. But yeah, I mean, it literally tells us here that we are his people, we the sheep of his pasture, right? It is he who made us, and we are his. And so I guess again, if we get those things in our hearts and minds and get that understanding, then maybe we can start to understand why me, right? Why me, why you, why he made us for the purpose that he made us for. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. So, y'all, I'm telling y'all these verses this morning. Lord, here we go. Isaiah 29:16. You turn things upside down. Woo. Y'all. I mean, it's I guess I'm laughing because all of this sounds so much like us. You know what I mean? Like we are always asking why. Like it reminded me of my son asking me and how I felt with him asking me why. And I ain't gonna lie, I've already started using them because I've said so. I've already started as a parent using that phrase. It's just like that. We're just like that little child asking why all the time. Where I just was like, as I read these verses and thought about like how much I was like that, you know what I mean? Or probably still am like that, how I'm seeing it in my son, how all of us are like this, asking God why and all of this. It's just like, man, how we must look to him. Well, anyway, so that's why I'm laughing, because it's just, I mean, it's not funny, but it's just very interesting and kind of humorous in a way, because that maybe, I mean, maybe it's going to assist me with showing more grace towards my son, knowing that, hey, I'm the same way towards the Lord, asking him why. But anywho, let's get back to this verse, y'all. So this verse say, okay, let me say it again. It's Isaiah 29:16. It says, you turn things upside down. Shall the potter be regarded as clay? That the thing made should say of its maker, he did not make me? Or the thing formed, say to him who formed it, he has no understanding. Oh, Lord. Do we not hear people saying this type of stuff all the time? Oh, God. Like, we hear people saying this type of stuff all the time, especially about God and about, everything like that. And I know we got to be specific these days when we talk about God. Again, in my heart and mind, God is always, I'm referring to Jesus. I'm referring to the God of the Bible, because he's the only one, right? According to the Bible, he's the only one. There's no other that could take that title, But, again, I understand that, there's different beliefs. You can believe what you want to believe. We got free will. God gave it to you, X, Y, and Z. So believe what you want to believe. But according to the Bible, there's only one God. And, everything like that. But anywho, getting back to the subjects at hand. Yeah, we say this stuff all the time. We say this type of stuff all the time. We said we don't think that God made us, right? I mean, can we acknowledge that? Can we be honest about that? A lot of us humans don't acknowledge that God made us, right? Then we think that he has no understanding of us. The one who made us has no understanding of us. That's how we feel. It's very interesting when you really truly think about it. Y'all can let those things marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Let me keep going. So then, look, y'all, they trying to choke me out. They don't want me talking to y'all today. Ooh, but if the Lord's will, I'm gonna keep on going, y'all. Woo. Look at what the Lord made me for. Hey, ooh. Look, why me, Lord? Why me? I ask those questions, man. I didn't like, why you got me out here struggling with being single and even cared about this whole thing? And then lo and behold, years later, several years later. Okay, here we go. John 15 and 16. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he shall give it to you. In case you're wondering why, right? There's a lot in the word that tells us, our purpose and, more about us. I mean, again, God created us in his image for some specific tasks, yes, and everything like that. I mean, yeah, I'm sure we all have unique and individual purposes and things like that beyond the general. But I mean, if you're in a place where you don't even know the general reasons of why, why you, right? Why you were created, why you are here, why your purpose, then I suggest you go check out the Go Deeper section, check out these different accounts and these different, descriptions. In there is Genesis, where, Genesis 1:26 through 28 is a good, start to understand, why you were created and what God created you to do. And man, and that's the juice, y'all. That's the juice this morning. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. The Bible verse of today is Isaiah 26 and 4. It says, trust ye in the Lord forever, for it is the Lord Jehovah is everlasting strength. So, excuse me, for in the Lord Jehovah is everlasting strength. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired today. I'm going to give y'all live lookers, right? Y'all live juicers, people that are watching the video. I'm going to give y'all a little bit more juice, a little bit of something that stood out to me this morning to share. That I guess the podcast people are going to get. So that's a little exclusive, little gift for watching me live or watching me on the video. But basically, there's a couple of quotes that I came across this morning that I felt like fit with this conversation of why me. One of them I saw, I want to say on either Saturday, and it was this quote that says, but what can I do? And then it says, so this is what the quote says. I'm going to just read it. It says, but what can I do? I'm just one person, said people. At the end of the day, there's just so much power in the one-to-one. And I think that we forget that sometimes. I think that we think that, man, again, we feel unqualified. We feel like, why me? We feel like, what can I do? And all these different things. But, all I can say, man, is I see what God has done through me, with me, for me, and through me with this whole thing, is a great example of what God can do with one, just one willing person, and so, yeah, I mean, I hope that, this encourages you and inspires you to know that, hey, man, if I could, the things I've done, you could do, and obviously, you could do greater than me and everything like that. And so, yeah, there's just power in the one-to-one. Because if 7 billion people are saying that same phrase, they don't understand that how much power that is. If 7 billion people get the same, start to, for example, do the will of God and do what he created them to do and walk in their purpose and all those different things, that is what makes this thing grow. Again, when you think about what Jesus did, it was Jesus the one, right? And then he got the 12, right? And then from what the 12 did, we're still talking about it today, and that's power in that, and so, yeah, I mean, I know these days, we live in a get rich quick type of society, you know, and I'm not just talking about rich in regards to finances, but just a quick, it's like we gotta have what we want quick and all that type of stuff. Or, you know, you gotta see numbers, you gotta, you know, we got people that are worried about that type of thing. At this point, I'm glad that I'm not that person anymore. You know, I could say I probably was that person, and that's what discouraged me back in the day about doing this type of stuff. But you know, there is power in the one-to-one. And I know I was talking to a gentleman about that last week. And so yeah, man, that's it with that quote. But then I came across another quote this morning. I only wrote down part of it, but this is what stood out to me in the quote. It says, "Sometimes you have to remind yourself that you are something special. You are unique. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You know, there's only one you. You know, and so again, there is purpose and stuff like that. There's value in that. You know." There's things that you know, and people that only you could have reached to, and just so much where, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we need to start seeing ourselves the way that God sees us. You know, again, he says that we're beautifully and wonderfully made. He says that, you know, that he knows the plans that he has for us, a plan, you know, to prosper and everything like that. And so, yeah, that's for each individual person, you know. So again, I mean, again, if you're asking yourself why me this morning, I hope that this helps. I hope that you are encouraged and inspired. And yes, I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.